I mean,
Like,
I thought
did
it
you
was
get it?
funny. I didn't get it, but I
Oh,
just,
jeez, come
I
on,
didn't
man.
even get it, but I mean, I figured you would.
Hey, y'all, you're listening to Rock-N-Brews episode number 7. I believe. Number 8. We're at number 8.
We're at number 8 already.
That's right, a Union
That's
Station
awesome.
Brewing Company podcast. I'm Jonathan Wheat. I own the brewery.
And I'm Thomas. I work at the brewery.
Union Station Brewing Company is a family-friendly brewery. This podcast may not be. I'm pretty sure we're going to be cussing in this episode.
Maybe a couple times.
So just be advised.
Well, we had somebody bring us a new beer of the week.
Yes, so I was absolutely 100%. Wow, we haven't even started drinking yet. 100% correct about our Costa Rica download. Friend of the show, Keith, was down there vacationing. And he specifically downloaded the episode to listen to on the plane for the way back. While it's still cool that it got downloaded down there, it was by one of our people.
So he brought us this beer.
Yes, he brought beer back for
Which
us.
I didn't know you could
from
really do
Costa
that.
Rica.
I know. That seems like customs.
I'm surprised it didn't blow up and like.
Well, he said a couple cans
The pressure
did not
changed.
make it.
That's right, he did. Yes, in his
Yes.
suitcase.
A couple cans did make it.
He did
but
say
the
that.
ones that survived are now going to be tasted right here.
Consumed by us.
Right for
yes.
you on the show.
Yep.
So it's Imperial. 100.
Imperial.
Yeah, Imperial. 100 Anos. And I guess it says Disdi 1924, which would be 100. So I'm guessing 100 Anos is 100 years. But
Grab a beer, y'all, and crack it open with us. You're going to hear this one go. Ooh.
Wow.
That sounded good.
In case y'all didn't know, we got new microphone setups with all sorts of fancy electronics and gadgets.
Yes, and he's pouring it. It looks beautiful. We're doing in glasses this
Just
time.
so we can look at the color.
Just so we can see the color. And it is a very, very pale yellow. You can see straight through it. It's very Mick Ultra-esque, although Mick Ultra is a little more yellow.
What's your first impression on the
smells good.
smell? It smells like a
It smells lagery.
domestic lager.
Yeah.
I honestly really like that.
That's pretty good.
That is really good.
I mean, totally sitting on the beach at an all-inclusive or something,
Put a little lime in it.
just kicking these back.
Yeah, a little lime, you know.
You know what? So I didn't used to like lime.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I always order my drinks NFL, anywhere we go. They're like, you want a lime in that? Nope.
Okay.
No fucking lime.
No fucking lime.
At first, the first time somebody said that to me, I thought, oh, is this like a
Football drink?
A football drink? Is this the way the football players drink it? They don't drink lime? Like, what's happening here? And then I realized it was no fucking lime.
That's great.
So anyway, we do limes in our Mexican lager, Tracks Over the Border,
As an option.
as an option.
I
yeah.
like it without the lime. But
I do too, but that's mostly because I didn't used to like lime, and now I'm coming around.
did you know people are putting limes in Michelob Ultra? Not a joke.
I-
It's a real thing.
I have somebody that puts limes in Outlaw when he
It's
comes
getting
in,
weird.
and that's our Mick Ultra.
I mean, if you're going to start putting limes in every beer, you probably don't like the beer you like.
We have
the
some
lime.
people that put salt in beer. I've had people come in and ask for ice for beer. I have a Colombian guy that comes in and puts soda in his beer. So
I
like,
do remember that.
there's
I do
like
remember
there's
that.
like a lot of really interesting ways to drink. Lime would be good in this. I'm not gonna lie, and just because I'm coming around on it, it's not my go-to, but I could see this. I would at least drink one of them with a lime.
I think I'll take this NFL.
You think?
Yep.
It's kind of like Corona. It's not as skunky as
This
Corona.
is not skunky, no.
But I think this is what Corona would taste like without the
Corona,
skunk.
Corona gets a little skunky.
Yeah. 'Cause
Especially
it's
if you get like the Corona Light or any of the, you need the extra.
yeah, it's because it's in the clear bottles. I think if Corona were not skunky, it would taste like.
I'm in.
like it.
I like it. Well, thank you, Keith, for bringing us some Imperial beer from
Yeah,
Costa Rica.
absolutely. Thank you, Keith. We have a
This one,
backlog
guys.
of beer. However, that doesn't mean you still shouldn't bring us some. Bring it down. Send it into the show if you need an address. 106 Southwest Broad Street, Jessup, Georgia 31545. Attention, John.
That's
Jon.
right. I think you could send beer now, actually.
You can.
In certain states.
Yes, just
Georgia is one of those states.
you can, not through USPS yet.
No. You have to go through the ups.
You got to do UPS or FedEx.
Oh, I don't like FedEx.
Yeah. And just put live yeast samples on the box. And
All right,
get here.
everybody know. Everybody, there's no excuses now. Everybody knows.
So, listener of the show, Red, this is our listener feedback section, posted a question, and this section could get a little racy, but he said, "What are some of the names that you all thought up for beers, but decided not to use because they were too much or too extreme?" So we were sitting around one. I mean, we came up with some names for tracks over the border, and you can only imagine, um, with Trump and Biden and Mexico and coyotes and all that horrible crap that happens. We had some names, but when I was home brewing up in Pennsylvania, my little home brew quote brewery was called Barking Bastard Brewery.
And how did that come about?
There was a dog that lived across the street, and I'm trying to remember what kind of dog it was. It's right on the tip of my tongue, man. But it's like
Like a chow chow, like a big white dog?
No, it was like trained for guarding. It wasn't a Rhodesian Ridgeback. That's like what pops into my head right now, but it wasn't one of
Is
those.
it like a Great Pyrenees, like a common dog?
Maybe it was a Great Pyrenees.
That's a big white dog, bunch of fur.
Yeah, maybe.
They bark a lot.
But and when I say, and this is like, I do exaggerate a lot. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. 24/7. It
Bark,
would
bark,
it
bark.
would stop to inhale,
Really?
and it would stop to eat. Yes, but
That's-
this dog barked all the time, and it was right across the street from our house.
Right.
In the summertime, we'd like to have our windows open. Up north, we do that, and could not do that with this dog because it was going all the time. So
Did you
then,
ever tell them, like, did you complain?
oh
and
yeah,
say-
yeah. We complained, and then the city went and talked to them a couple times and whatever, and they finally moved. I mean, but it was years, and that's where I learned to sleep with a sound machine or like a noise app or something with something in the background, because that dog would go all night long.
Were you just hoping that dog eventually croaked one day?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I mean, part of me felt bad for the dog, right? Because it was outdoors. Oh, that was southern. It was
outdoors.
outdoors. I bet that dog. It was it was outdoors constantly, just penned up, and it'd be blizzarding, freaking freezing because it's Pennsylvania, and this dog would just be out there barking its fool head off because it was probably miserable, but it would just go crazy. So anyway,
Barking Bastard Brewery.
Barking
so
Bastard
this is
Brewery.
not your first brewery.
uh,
Commercially, maybe.
it's first commercial brewery.
Okay,
Yes.
first commercial.
Yeah, yeah. No, that was just the home brew kind of thing. And so my dad created this sign. It's actually hanging up over in the brew house here at Barking Bastard Brewery with a dog head on it. Might be a Great Pyrenees. I know I'll
Now
be
that you're thinking
corrected.
about it, you're
I'll be
like,
corrected, yeah.
okay.
And if I remember it before we're done recording, or I'll just stitch it in and nobody will ever know that I didn't remember. We have names that sometimes come up, and we're like, yeah, we can't use that here. But if Barking Bastard Brewery were around, it would totally be a Barking Bastard Brewery beer. And I had thought for a little while about naming this Barking Bastard Brewery.
So maybe Barking Bastard Brewery is your next adventure for an adult brewery, no kids allowed, because we are family friendly. Maybe that one's not.
Maybe that is not.
And then you can have all these really funny names.
That would be really fun. Yeah.
So give me some other funny names that we went over.
So you and I brewed Thomas's Tropical Train,
Sure.
which was a double dry hopped
Hazy.
hazy India Pale Ale.
That's right.
Yes,
You
got to
gotta
get
say it all.
all the words, all the syllables. And that was the first in our employee brewed series of beers.
Series,
I
yeah.
haven't continued that yet, but we'll brew with Carrie and Becca here. And so Carrie wanted to brew a cider, and she's like, I have the perfect name. I was like, okay, what is it? She's like, Carrie's Deepin.
Cider.
Carrie's Deepin cider. Yeah.
So the cider would be called Deepin. It'd just be Deepin. And then
Deepin,
they would say,
yes.
I need to order a Deepin cider.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sign me up. I need to order one.
That's right.
We're talking shirts. We could do everything with that.
Yeah. For our Mexican lager, I kind of alluded. We had Border Wall. Border Wall. We had
Mexican lager.
Coyote over the border. I know there were some Trump ones. And so Carrie paints all these tiles, and we were talking about having Trump on one side of the tile and Biden on the other side of the tile, with the wall going up, and like just this whole thing. It was a whole thing, and we ended up with Tracks Over the Border.
We did.
Super benign. It's railroad themed. So that's how we picked
Yeah,
it.
apparently you're not going to sell any beer with that sort of name.
That's right. Yeah.
But we're on batch
Throwback
2
to
or 3 or
episode
4.
1 or 2. Yeah, we talked about that.
I'm
So-
still looking to get the quad. We need to brew a quad.
So Carrie came up with this. Maybe it's just Carrie. Maybe she's the problem.
I think so.
She is the problem. So she wanted to brew a quad and call it pelagic. So it'd be quadriplegic IPA.
Wow,
Um,
that's a low.
I can only imagine the tile on that.
I don't think we sell any of those either.
I don't know. I don't think we would. I would never. I would never have a beer named that. Way less racy. I actually did have one called Pissed Off Peach, and that was more because during the whole brewing process of that beer, it went crazy during fermentation, and I launched an arc of beer across the brew house, slamming against the brick wall, and that was a good time. That's all I could come up with. Can you think of any other ones?
I really don't.
I know we had them,
I'm sure we're gonna make another list.
and I texted our group, and nobody else came up with anything. So
I mean, we went back and looked in the messages for
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah.
Couldn't find nothing.
couldn't find any. Yeah. If you guys have some crazy beer names,
Yeah, send them our way.
send them our way. Especially if they're train related, we just might use it, and then we'll give you credits.
Free beer.
Credits, not free beer.
What's a credit?
We'll tell everybody it was your idea.
Yeah, but if you name the beer, you get you get one free beer of the beer you named. I feel like that's only fair.
Okay, fine.
A 4 ounce.
We can do that. We'll give you
Just a taste.
We'll give you a taste. Yeah. No, if throw in some beer ideas and beer names, and we'll see what we can do. So this weekend was pretty bland as far as crazy shit goes.
It was quiet.
Nothing really happened. And Thomas and I were kind of thinking, I mean, it's been 2 weeks since we've recorded, so you'd think something would have happened in those 2 weeks. And it's been kind of just mundane in a good way of customers. Like, nobody has done anything stupid or anything like that. We have one customer, we won't name names, we'll call him Black and Tan, and the people that know, you know. But he came in Saturday. Saturday? I think it was Saturday.
It was definitely Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
Yeah.
And he is walking, and I use that term loosely. He's moving from the door to the bar, and definitely not in a straight line. And I'm kind of walking back over, like behind the bar or whatever, because nobody else was behind the bar at the time. They were all busy doing other things. And so I go over there, and he almost stumbles and catches himself on the bar. And in his best attempt to not slur his speech, he asked me for a beer. And I looked at him, and I said, "I'm sorry, man. I can't serve you."
I gotta fix my microphone.
Yeah, this brand new awesome equipment.
I think we just need some C-clamps. Keith, need some C-clamps.
Yeah. So while I was setting all of this up today, it was super frustrating trying to get everything all hooked up because there weren't really. I think you got to do it straight on.
I got it. Here we go.
Okay. So I'm looking over the instructions, and they're written in Chinglish.
Chinglish.
In Chinglish.
I've never heard that one.
I think I coined that today because there wasn't one coherent sentence in the directions.
Was it as bad as the Game King of Game?
It was
The bing,
very,
the bang,
very
the bongo?
close. Very, very close.
Okay, this might be a little bit better. This will work for now.
Okay.
All right. Oh, yep, we're good. Okay.
All right, you good?
Yep.
Okay. So Black and Tan weaves his way up to the bar and asks for a beer. And I was like, "I'm sorry, man. I can't serve you like this."
He was really that messed up.
Dude, yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, he stumbled to the bar.
Do we need to start like breathalyzing people before they come in here?
I mean,
Like-
I don't want to get a bouncer.
I mean,
We don't need a bouncer.
we don't need
Do
a
we really?
bouncer. I mean, we definitely would have had the Spanish American War outside if we had a bouncer.
Well, that's true.
But my whole thing is like, why would you go somewhere else, get super trashed on liquor, and then come to a
I asked
family
him
friendly
that
place?
same damn question. I was like, "Why don't you pregame here and go somewhere else after? Why
Yeah.
do you always come here drunk?" I said, "I don't think I've
And what
ever
did he
had a
say?
sober conversation with you."
What do you say?
He said, "Oh, well, I had a Crown and Coke and a this and a that." I didn't ask what he drank. I just asked why, you know. So I didn't get an answer.
Yeah.
So
that's-
anyway, you know, he's sitting there, and there's another guy sitting next to him, who he's here with 3 of his buddies, and you know, he's like, "Do you want me to call you a cab?" And he's like, "No, I'll get a cab." Asked him, "I never drive. You know, I live over here. I never drive. I always get a cab." And I reassured this other customer, he always gets a cab. You know, he's good like that. And So this customer, I didn't tell you this. This customer reaches into his wallet and pulls out his CAC card, military ID,
Mhm.
and hands it to me. And he goes, "Me and my buddies are here if you need any kind of help." And I was
Are you kidding
like,
me?
"I appreciate that, man." I said, He's harmless though. I appreciate it."
Yeah,
He goes,
he's fine. He's
"Okay,
just
that's cool."
he's just one of the drunks. It's
Yeah.
okay.
And he's like, "All right, cool. Well, we're over here throwing axes if you need it." And I was like, "You bet, thank you." Which I thought was really, really cool. I mean,
Yeah.
he was super, discreet about it. He wasn't like, we can walk this guy out if you need him. It never got to that. He's never like that. Um, I have actually asked him to leave in the past a couple times because he gets really clingy
Mm-hmm.
with other customers, and especially women.
Yeah.
But he will cling and just talk your face off,
Right.
slur, and
I don't think he
it's
listens to
not
our
really
podcast.
coherent. I don't think so either. I'm still not going to mention his name, but anyway, yeah. So he came in, and that was like the craziest thing that happened all weekend.
Yeah, which
So-
really wasn't a whole lot.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, you got to put it probably parallel.
Yeah, I mean,
It's putting too much torque
she's slipping.
on the edge of the table.
She's slipping.
Yeah, these clips. So we have these mic stands. They're like springy things or whatever, and they just don't grip the table very well.
All right.
I got a phone call
You got a phone call?
last week. Yes, so we didn't record last week because
Right,
of
right.
schedules and whatever.
Right.
But remember that dog that we found?
Yeah.
It escaped again, and the owner called me.
Are you serious?
Yes, and he was like, "Hey, that dog? I don't remember his name. That you guys found the other day? He escaped again."
He must really not like living
So
in that
I
house.
don't think he's accidentally getting out. I think this is purposeful. I don't think this dog wants to be there.
Okay.
I mean,
So do we call them again, or do
He
we call
didn't
the
look-
shelter?
he didn't look very happy when he got picked up by his
Yeah,
owners.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah,
what are you guys doing here?
yeah,
And we thought we were like actually helping him out by,
yeah.
getting the dog back to him.
Yep.
But
So that kind of made me laugh that the dog is out again. I was like, all right, so seriously, you need to figure out your stupid fence situation or whatever you're doing.
right.
The dog is obviously not. It's a tiny dog. It was Jack Russell-ish,
Mhm.
maybe, or something like that. Clearly the dog isn't reaching up and opening the doorknob to get out or whatever. So they must have a hole in their fence or something.
So
Somebody's
now-
not paying attention.
Now while I'm sitting over here fixing this wonderful stand.
Yes.
Thank you, Amazon. What are you sitting on over there? I feel like you're missing 2 couch cushions. I just noticed. I'm trying to figure it out.
So today I'm sitting here on the center couch cushion, setting up the podcast equipment.
Right.
We got some new stuff. Amazon points are fantastic. I didn't have to spend a dime. And Remy comes over and he's sitting on the couch on the cushion to the left and throws up
Oh, wonderful.
on the
Thanks,
cushion.
Remy.
On the cushion. So I'm like, oh, buddy. So I get him down and I take the cushion and I go clean it and I come back and I'm sitting there. And then he comes over and climbs up on the right couch cushion and he's sitting there for a little while and then throws up on that one as well. So I'm like, bud, what's going on? And I'm frustrated, but like there's wood floor all over the place he could throw up on. There's linoleum over in tracks he could throw up on. He could go out back and throw up anywhere, but he had to pick the cushions, the cloth to throw up
The
on.
cloth.
Yeah.
So you're washing them.
So I take so I clean them. They're over there drying right now. And I was like, bud, if you have to throw up, just throw up on the floor. And then he did in front of the garage door.
Gotta love them.
So I don't know what's up with him. He's not feeling good. I fed him. I think he ate again because he was probably hungry. But that's why I'm sitting on a 1/3 cushioned couch right now.
That's awesome.
I gave you the nice couch.
Okay, thanks. So you gave me my couch.
Yes, your couch. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
alright.
the one you gave me.
Yeah, that's right.
So we had a Jeep night Thursday. We had a Jeep that night.
A singular
We had a
Jeep.
singular Jeep that night. It was
Just one Jeep.
The woman that sort of organized it. So she brought her Jeep out. It was kick-ass Jeep. It's pretty tough looking.
Did you ask her where all of her friends are?
Yeah, I know. So they sat at the bar. They had a couple. I don't know if they ate or not. I don't remember. But it was nice to talk to them. She actually works right down the street. And funny story about her Jeep, she parked it in the front row of the parking lot maybe in the spring or whatever. And she parks it, she walks away, and all of a sudden rolls forward down the curb into the street. So half of the Jeep is in the street, the ass end is still in the parking lot.
How did that happen?
The e-brake. Jeeps are notorious for having shit e-brakes. I mean, if you don't want your Jeep to move anywhere,
Chalk blocks.
cinder blocks. Yes.
Oh, yep.
In front.
Chalk them right
Yep.
up.
Right there. Just don't. I mean, even putting it in gear isn't a guarantee that a Jeep isn't going to roll. Because Becca had one. She had a Jeep, and it didn't matter. You could put a brand new e-brake in there. A week later, thing isn't doing anything. So, ironically, this was the same Jeep. I was like, "Did you ever get that e-brake fixed?" She was like, "Nope." So.
It's just rolling away every time.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway, she was here. It was pretty good. She parked in the second row of the parking lot.
Good.
So it wouldn't roll out in the street. But yeah, that was kind of a flop, but it was the first one. And I advertised it a week ahead of time. So maybe it's the third Thursday of every month. We're going to start doing this. And maybe we just need to, I don't know, put the word out there somehow.
If you have a Jeep, bring it up to Union Station Brewing on the third Thursday.
Third Thursday.
Third Thursday.
Yep, December.
What else do we have in store today, John?
Conspiracy of the Week.
The conspiracy of the week. There's a lot of different conspiracy theories out there. I just had to share this one with you.
Okay, I can't wait.
So, did you know? I mean, it's not a fact, but I have a lot of pointers to make it a fact.
Okay. I can't
That
wait.
the national forests, which are everywhere, are actually meant to keep things in the forests and us safe.
Really?
Yes. And we're talking about an animal, kind of, maybe a human, maybe an alien. I'll let you decide. So
Please let it be Bigfoot. Please let it be Bigfoot. Go ahead.
It's not Bigfoot.
Oh, shit.
This
Okay.
is not Bigfoot. Okay.
Okay.
There's no Bigfoot in this one.
Okay.
I promise. In these national parks, forests, whatever you want to call them, people go missing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They are never found. Remains are never found. And they generally tell you to stay on certain trails and away from other areas. Now, these are federally mandated locations, okay?
Yes.
So the government. So park rangers are federal officers at this point. My theory behind it is that when they keep things in the forest, we're talking about people that just haven't evolved to modern civilization.
Oh.
Yes.
Snap.
Yes. So we're talking not cavemen, but cavemen. So, like, not the ones you see out there in the Stone Age. We're talking about, like, people like you and me
Yes.
that just haven't evolved. So we're talking inbred, cannibals, that sort of thing.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. And there was this big whole thing where they would send certain military groups into these forests, and half of them would come back.
Shut up.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, I've read it on the internet, and you can't believe everything you read on the internet.
Well,
But it just gives you something to think about, really.
if it's on TikTok, it's true.
If it's on TikTok, everything on TikTok is true.
Yes.
Could you imagine? They just haven't evolved. So, like, they live in certain parts of the woods, and they live off the land, and apparently they eat each other, or they're inbred, and they just haven't evolved to modern technology, society, anything like that. And instead of us killing them, I think that the parks were donated by the government to keep them in one location.
Wow.
I don't know. If anybody has any more information on this,
I mean, it's plausible. It's not outlandish,
it's really not.
right?
Is it Bigfoot plausible?
I mean, it's 2024. Nothing really would surprise me anymore.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
going to lie.
Right.
It would not surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me that the government would be protecting something like that. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff about the Grand Canyon.
Maybe they're secrets. What about the Grand Canyon?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of shit in the Grand Canyon.
Well, name me one.
There's all these underground caves. There's
The hills
a
have
whole
eyes.
bunch of ruins and
The hills
things
have
over there.
eyes.
Yes,
That sort of situation.
maybe.
Okay. If you haven't, have you seen The Hills Have Eyes?
No, sir.
Okay, so they're pretty much out in the desert. Okay, and we're talking about the same people that just haven't evolved, and they're cannibals. And these people go out there on a road trip or whatever in one movie, and then the other movie there's a military group out there training or whatever, and these people like kill everybody. You should watch the movie.
Okay.
And it might tie in with the conspiracy.
All right.
So we're talking about people that just haven't evolved,
Okay.
which, it's not far-fetched. Maybe descendants that were here that never really made it to the big cities as they started building these cities. And, out west, like, the further you get towards, like, Montana and all that, I wonder if, like, in Yellowstone, if these exist, and they've just been living off the land. And
They
then
just set up.
they ran
they
out
just
of
set up
food
shop
and
and
start eating each
that's
other.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
That's something.
Okay. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Like I said, man, nothing would surprise me anymore. Nothing at all. And I mean, the Great Wall of China
Right?
is set up in a way to keep things from going one direction over the wall.
I
Right?
got you. Okay.
It isn't necessarily built as a protection
Right.
as it is to keep something out
What are we keeping out?
or keep something in. I don't know.
True. See what I'm saying?
It's a big wall. Who knows?
It's possible.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of weird conspiracy things like that. And I just like to read over them.
I love
Like
conspiracies.
surface level, I rarely
Really?
go down a rabbit hole.
You go down the rabbit hole and the earth is flat, so I didn't want to hear it. You went down on that rabbit hole?
Oh yeah, yes.
Is,
I
the,
went-
earth, is the earth flat?
I went down the rabbit hole there.
Is it flat?
100%. Yeah, it's flat. There's a firmament.
Come on, man.
There's no space.
Come on, man.
Oh yeah. That's why all the aliens are in the ocean.
Oh, man. We've
'Cause there's no
we've
space.
opened this up. We have opened this up. Aliens are in the ocean. Okay, guys, come on.
Yeah. So, I'm listening to music
As
this
always.
week. Yes.
All right.
It's just classic rock. White Room by Cream comes on.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there.
Okay.
Let's think about this for a second.
All right.
The song is called White Room by the band Cream.
Dude.
I mean, when I read that, I was like, God, this has got to be a joke.
No.
Okay.
You know the band.
I do?
Do you know the song? I'm asking.
I don't know.
I'm
I
asking,
don't
I'm
know
gonna tell
either. I don't know either.
you. Are you serious?
No, I'm serious.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I was just going to play this one clip.
Okay.
Now I feel like I need to play more.
No. Play me the clip.
Okay. All right. I think Mickey Mouse
Huh?
sings. I think.
Is this a real? This is a joke.
Speaking of conspiracies, I think the guy that does Mickey Mouse's voice sings for this band.
Okay.
Or sang for this band. I don't think they're still touring or whatever.
Is he singing in the Mickey Mouse voice on the song?
You tell me.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's hit it.
Well,
after
I will.
the train.
I
After
will.
the train. 'cause I
After
can't
the
hear
train
anything.
goes by, I'll stitch this in. Right now, I'm just gonna play it, and then I'll stitch in just that part.
Okay.
Okay. So hopefully the mics will pick this up from my laptop. I'll actually swing my mic over a little bit, so it'll hopefully pick it up. Okay, it's coming up. It's Mickey Mouse.
Right now.
No?
Okay. I have heard the song before.
Okay.
I'm glad you put a face with the name.
Okay.
However,
You don't think it sounds like Mickey?
I think you're down another rabbit hole. There is no way
I
that
had
I
this-
could not picture Mickey Mouse singing this song.
Maybe. That didn't sound like Mickey.
It's not squeaky enough.
Okay.
I mean, and I really
All right.
tried to think about it.
All right.
And I don't get it at all.
Okay.
I mean, I might have to listen to it a couple times, but I do know the song.
Okay, good.
I never knew that's what it was called.
All right, yes.
It's a great song.
All right.
Do you like that song?
I do, and it was
Okay.
very loud in here, and maybe I had been drinking at the time, but
And
that part came up,
Mickey Mouse
and I was
popped in
like,
your head.
that sounds like freaking Mickey Mouse.
Maybe Mickey Mouse lives in the national parks too. John.
He's a cannibal. He's a
But
cannibal
probably.
mouse. Yeah. All right. Well, in better music news.
Better music news. What are you talking about? I love that song.
Well, I feel stupid now.
No. It's a great song. I just didn't get the correlation to Mickey Mouse.
That's fine.
But I'm going to listen to the song again.
All right. Cool. We had Blossom and Bone in here last weekend. Jumping back to a comment from episode 1 by Art, and he was like, you guys would really do interviews with your artists when they come in and all that sort of thing, and hey, Hops. So we did. We pulled them aside after their show and sat down with them and had a really, really good interview with them. And so here it is. Hey, y'all, we're here with Blossom and Bone. They were here performing at Union Station tonight, and we just sat down at the podcast table, and we're just going to ask a couple questions. I'm really curious how you all got into this. I know you were busking at one point, and now you're doing a bunch of touring. You mentioned something in Tennessee coming up, which is freaking phenomenal. And sort of where do you get your inspiration for all of the songs? Because you do a majority of originals, or you take something and twist it into a new way. And it's just always phenomenal when you guys get here, because it doesn't matter. Tonight it was super dead. There's a Georgia game on, but you still brought your energy, and it still sounded phenomenal. And so, I mean, you guys are just, all right, I'll stop gushing. But I'm really curious, like, how you guys got started, maybe how you met, all that sort of history stuff.
So we actually met through a dating app, and ironically, it was supposed to be a very, very brief encounter, if you will. That's the political way to say it, I guess.
Hashtag Tinder.
Hashtag Tinder, exactly. So we swiped right, and then we ended up hanging out for a really long time, and very much clicked. And I love the fact that he played music. I've always been interested in music my whole life. And I tutored on saxophone and stuff, and played ukulele. But I only wrote a few songs when I'd met him, and I was just blown away by his ability to, just come up with songs on the regular. I mean, literally at least one a week. So he bought me my first guitar from a flea market for like $30. And taught me 2 chords, and I took those 2 chords and I wrote my very first song on guitar. And then from there, it just kind of took off. Now, don't get me wrong, I still can't play guitar for shit, but I still, it's been a lot of fun.
You played guitar all night long.
8 chords. You just got to move the capo. That's all you got to do. You know what I mean? So, what about you?
My dad had a guitar when I was a kid. I found myself busking at the age of like 15 or 14, I'm not sure, down on Park Street in Riverside, Jacksonville. And I started walking out of town in like 2010 and found out that it was an easy way to like actually survive better than sitting in the same stoop every day playing for the same like passerbyers. And did that for the better part of like 5 years, traveling, living out of my guitar case, and always coming back to see Mom. And then, when we swiped right on one another, she got her first guitar, and she wrote that first 2-chord song. And one of my first road dogs, Rodolfo Orozco, I believe they're in New York nowadays. They always carried a banjo, and he had always like gotten a little too shwilly in the bushes when we were traveling, hopping trains and stuff. And so I'd always grab his banjo and like toy around with it at night. And it always just felt way better to play that than the guitar. So like it's really difficult to like talk about, but the feeling of a banjo in my hands, like chords and stuff, it's literally the same notes as a guitar, but it just felt different in my spirit. So I always took a liking to that, but never felt like I could play it either. And I still don't really feel like I could play banjo. But when she showed me her first song, I was like, dude, I feel like I could maybe do something with that on a banjo. Do you mind if I grab my banjo? And she was like, definitely. So
Sunlight Breaks.
Yeah, the Sunlight Breaks song was our first song. And forget what our second song was. I feel like it was around 4 More Graves, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just another 2-chord song. And so we started writing that. And then we had some friends at the time that ran an open mic, Jeremy and Mandy Gals. Gals? We should know this. They're literally the reason we're here. They were in a duet, a guitar and mandolin and stomp box duet called Palmettos and Pines. They're currently on the state line of Florida and Georgia homesteading. But anyways, back when we first got together, they ran an open mic. And we'd go and, I'd play and Aaron would be like, ooh, all these musicians, this is cool. And we decided to have a double date with them one day at the same flea market I had bought her guitar at. And I pulled a fib. I pulled up to the gas station next to the I pulled up to the truck stop next to the flea market, and I was like, Bo, I left my wallet. If it's okay until Jeremy and Mandy get here, I need to play music and try and get gas money to get us back to Georgia. And she was like, are you serious? Like, yeah, let's do it. And so we popped the trunk like I always would. Anyways, I love busking for gas because it's a great time. You got to sit there and get gas anyways, so why not hear someone yell about their problems in a positive light? And so I was sitting there and I played a song and I looked at her and I was like, you want to play your song? And she was like, I guess, dude. And she played her song and she passed it back to me. That went back and forth twice. We played a total of 6 songs. And then when we counted the kettle, we had $70, and I handed her 35. I was like, I'm just kidding, dude. I got my wallet. Like, let's go to the flea market, get some lumpia, feed the gators. So yeah, from that, we drove back to Georgia afterwards, and I was like, dude, I don't know about you, but that was really fun to just pass back and forth the guitar. Like, I have a banjo. Like, we should try this. And the next day we went down to St. Simon's, and there was a arts market there on Saturdays, and we sat right there at the crossing and played. I think we pulled in like $40 to $50, which was a lot more difficult than at that gas station, but it was still it was a lot of fun. And yeah, from there we were like, okay, yeah, this sounds cool, whatever. And I think it was about a month later when we had recorded our first 2 songs that we wrote together, and then Swamp Rats came to town and played with Sun River and us, and it was downhill from there.
Which for that to be my first show is such a phenomenal lineup. Swamp Rats, they're kind of like us, but they're swapped. So I believe Andy, who is a banjo player, she is so good. I think she's sponsored by Gold Tone. I mean, she is a shredder of a player. And then her partner. They do. They just live in a car. I mean, I think they have an apartment in Detroit somewhere, but they are never there. It's them and their dog, Layla. But yeah, so it was Swamp Rats, which they're phenomenal, and then Sun River is just the cutest duet on the planet from Jacksonville. They're both like super hot firefighters and like write all this like really romantic, cute music, and
Phenomenal harmonies.
Yeah.
Harmonies that make me shriek.
Yeah.
Do that to me.
Their music is so good that it got me through the most intense mushroom trip I've ever had in my life. It's so good.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That as well as Thrasher videos.
Yeah, skate videos and Sun River is the only thing that got me to the other side. And then there was another band. I forget their names, but
I don't.
It was.
I don't want to remember their names. They were a little aggressive towards us, so I was like.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
They were Swamp Rats homies, and we appreciated the fact that they were homies.
Yeah.
But they were sort of aggressive.
Yeah.
About like the vibe and everything. I'm like, we're just trying to have fun, man. We're not taking it seriously. I don't know.
So that all goes to say that, like, eventually, we started busking more and more and kind of honing it in and, just having a good time. And we picked up a couple other misfits along the way. We got our washboard player, Amanda Sandanek, and she's incredible. Always got a little big gulp cup full of Jack Daniels.
We tell her every time, we're like, dude, John doesn't sell Big Gulp. And she's like, it's cool, it's Gatorade, you want some? And I'm like, dude, no. Like, I can smell that. You suck.
So, and we also have our bass player, Holly Bassett. She's phenomenal as well. She actually likes to stand on top of the bass And yeah, so we've been really lucky, man. It's just gotten better and better. Eventually, people started inviting us inside rather than telling us to stop standing outside of their business, begging for money, if you will. And yeah, it's been a good ride.
That's really, really cool. One more question. So, I play saxophone, super self-conscious. I, I just shrivel inside. I can't stand being in front of people. Like, how do you do that on a corner in front of a bunch of strangers? And how long did it take for you to kind of get over that? Because, I mean, you guys are so natural here. And I mean, when you tour, I guess you just sort of get used to that. But like, I just can't imagine grabbing my saxophone and standing out in the corner out here and just playing. That just gives me anxiety just to think about it.
So it's something that he already pretty much did through, all of his, like, since you were like 14. Yeah. For me, when I met him, I was going through like this crazy transition and dealing with a lot and all. And I eventually found that that sense of shame and anxiety and stuff like that, that's all pre-programmed. And the moment that you let go of that, it is the most freeing thing in the world. And the idea that all of us, not to get like crazy deep, but the idea that all of us are here for a certain amount of time, and so long as you're not hurting anybody else, do what the fuck you want to do, have fun. Exactly. And so the first couple times that we went busking, I was like, oh God, what are people going to think? Blah, 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 blah. And then I realized that like, it doesn't matter what people think. And, there's a show on Netflix. It's called Glow, and it's like, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, and it's all fictional, but I know, but there's a character on there, and he said one line that just like has stuck with me. And he said, you should try not giving a fuck. There's a lot of power in that. And it's like just resonated in my mind. Anytime that I feel weird about busking or being outside playing music and, someone gives us a dirty look or literally tells us, you would sound better if you showered. That's my favorite.
Didn't even take time to listen. Walk by on the street.
Yeah. So when things like that happen, that one line plays my mind, and I'm like, you know what? There's a lot of power. I don't care about what you think. I'm here to have fun, and the people who will appreciate it will find us. So.
As far as earliest I could think back, I didn't have any. I was like too young to care. I really needed pot. And I didn't know any other way besides being like seeing someone walk by and I had a guitar in my hands like, hey, could I sing you a song or a piece of a song for 50 cents? And like granted, I had to do that like 30 times with a yes to get, a joint back when I was a kid. And then the more I got invested in my music, the more I felt like, okay, this is the only way I know how to make money, because otherwise I'd have to get a job and then I wouldn't be able to focus on music. And it was probably, I got some of those comments early on, such as take a shower, you'd sound better. I used to get a lot, hey, I'll give you $10 if you stop playing while I'm here. And I was like, I'll take that. I'll take a break for $10. Like, sick. I was just trying to get 50 cents. But yes, I got you. And I think when it comes down to like the shiver of like playing in front of people, we actually still have that when we try and busk or play shows, especially busking. We've actually talked about it. We call it the constant dread of the pre-busk. We'll be driving, we live in Brantley County. We're like 45 miles from the nearest spot to busk. And 45 miles of nothing but like, this isn't going to work. This is so dumb. Like, people are they're going to hate this. Like, we don't know what we're doing. We're probably not going to make any money. But then there's times where, like, I remember right after college, me and my buddy Dylan Andrew Teetsy from Texarkana, Texas. He's a really good songwriter. Me and him were busking across the United States as a celebration of me graduating college. And the first stop is Richmond, Virginia. And, we didn't make jack. It's really difficult to busk in big cities, And we went to the Salvation Army, and they were serving up Jimmy John's. And I was like, screw it, man. I'm going to set up right here in this soup line and play. Like, maybe someone here is like a local and they're just here for the lunch, and like they'll like kick us down a place to sleep. And this lady just came up and just started weeping, like sobbing brutally. And she was just like, dude, I just lost my whole family in a house fire, and you just like brought it home for me and made me feel like at the end I'll be able to like sing my own song, not with music, but like I'll be okay. And I was like, I did that by playing on a sidewalk. Like, okay, I don't care about the shiver. Like, it's going to be worth connecting with someone and possibly giving them hope. And since then, I've felt that so many freaking times of people just being like, dude, I wanted to go kick my boss's ass today, and I would have ended up in prison and lost everything I worked for. But like, I heard you, and like, at least I'm not in your shoes. And I'm like, yeah, you know. So I think that's what it does it for me. It's definitely always still there. Some nights worse than others, you know, especially when like everything could go wrong. Last time we played here, the PA just like out of nowhere, and we're like, these people are like asking us to play, and we sound like shit. But yeah.
Well, that gives me hope, I guess. Thank you. You gave me hope. I was sitting thinking I'd never play in front of everyone, and yeah. That was really great. Thank you guys for coming. You did phenomenal tonight, as you usually do. And I appreciate you sitting down and chatting for a little bit. This has been great. Thank you.
Yeah, well, they interviewed great.
They did. It was really good. And I really only had those first two questions for them about how they met and how they got into it.
And I really like the stories that they told. I mean, they really went in depth about it.
They were great. Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. The two of them are fantastic. Their music is great.
I'm pretty sure they're on Spotify too. So if you are listening to this on Spotify,
yes.
Check them out. Blossom and Bone.
Blossomin.
Blossomin.
BLOSSOMIN apostrophe Bone.
Okay.
Yeah. Great music. And sort of speaking of all of that, we have a lot of upcoming events. This week is Thanksgiving on Thursday. There's a 50-50 chance we'll be open. It all depends. I know y'all are going to be sick of your families, so I just might open up and you can come down and have a beer. You can either call down or just drive by, and if the lights are on, come on in. Wednesday, the day before that, there will be no line dancing. We'll be open Wednesday and Friday, but there won't be any line dancing. We are planning a Mug Club party. Stay tuned for that date. We haven't chosen one in December yet, a Mug Club Christmas party for all of our members. So that's coming up. December 5th is our tree lighting, Jessup tree lighting, kitty corner across from the brewery. Will be open. We'll be having music cranking, and that'll be happening.
Are we going to be playing Christmas music?
No.
Okay, good.
The only Christmas music I will play is metal Christmas.
You know what? I love that idea.
And, and that's like Mistress for Christmas.
Pretty sure there's a band that does Christmas.
There is.
I think it's Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Oh, yeah, TSO.
Have you ever heard of them?
I have, yes.
Okay. We can listen to that.
Okay, we can do that one?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay,
yeah, because I don't want to listen to Mariah Carey. I've heard that enough, and we're not even at Thanksgiving yet.
Yeah. Speaking of things you don't want to hear, we did do karaoke on Friday.
We did.
It was actually a good night for karaoke, too. There was some good singers. There were some not so good singers, but it was all good. Mostly good. And
karaoke's free. Come down here and embarrass yourself. No, we're just joking.
Yeah. And you didn't hear your favorite song?
I didn't have
Nobody
to hear
did
Strawberry Wine. I know, thank God.
Nope. I tried to get somebody to do it.
Yeah, I know you did.
And she laughed. She's like, no, I can't do that one.
Good. Perfect.
Yep. Yeah, so saved you there. So anyway, December 5th is the tree lighting. December 6th, we have Pine Box Dwellers, and that is also the Jessup Christmas Parade. So Pine Box Dwellers, or PBD, they're going to be playing at 6 o'clock for an hour, and then the parade is going to come through at 7. They're going to stop while the parade goes through, and then they're going to pick back up afterwards. So pop in, grab a beer, sit out front, watch the parade. As long as you stay on the sidewalk here, we'll give you a plastic cup, and you'll be all set. Cops won't care. And you can watch that Christmas parade and then pop back inside. We'll put the door back down and try to warm this place up because I'm sure it's going to be cold. December 6th, we have an adult paint and sip hosted by Studio...
December 7th.
December 7th, thank you.
Yep.
Yep. hosted by Studio DIY, so you can find them on Facebook to RSVP for that. And then just plan ahead, New Year's Eve, December 31st. We're having a huge party. We're going to do a keg drop at midnight. We've got Gabe Spell coming. He's going to be playing.
This place is going to be loaded.
This place is going to be loaded. Yes, it's going to be great.
All sorts of stuff we're going to be doing in here that night.
Yeah. Last year was fun. This year will be funner.
More funner.
More funner.
Also, did you know we cater, John?
Well, we don't cater for your party at your place.
No, but,
No,
you,
but
we
if
can
you come
cater for your
here,
party
yes.
here.
Yes. So plan an event. Come on down for a Christmas party, for your work, or business. I guess that's the same thing. Friends, if you want to have a Christmas party here, you can reserve a space. It's very reasonable, and we can get you some food as well. Now that we have the kitchen
And the beer.
and the beer, yes. Yeah,
That's the most important part.
It is absolutely 100%. So November went by fast.
It did. It was a very fast moving month.
Yeah.
But it's also been I feel like the days have been super long. Like the month has gone by, but the days just have been long days. It's been rough.
Yeah, and it's almost December.
It's almost December.
I mean, today is November 25th. In 1 month, it's freaking Christmas.
and 1 month from today.
1 month from today. Yeah.
Why is everybody talking about Christmas? It's
Come
not
down
even
and get your
Thanksgiving
merch.
yet.
Come down and get your merch
What merch?
for gifts.
Oh, we've got great
We
stuff.
have all
for
sorts of
gifts
stuff.
For Christmas,
Yeah. I mean, you don't know what to buy for that special someone. We have cups and glasses,
T-shirts.
and tumblers and T-shirts, and
Bottle openers.
coasters and stickers and bottle openers,
And even better, to-go beer.
and to-go beer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Give your loved
buy
one a 32-ounce can of the
whatever
best
you-
beer in Jessup.
That's right. It is the best beer in Jessup. I like that.
You like that?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, that went way better than I was expecting.
Are we going to make a Christmas card this year?
A Christmas card
Yeah.
to send out to people?
I mean, no, not really. Yeah, I like to, your family, my family, just a funny little brewery Christmas card. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
it'd
we
be
could do
funny.
that. That'd be fun. Are we all going to get matching outfits?
I think we need to. We down for that?
Like matching pajamas or something?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a great idea.
Perfect.
I have a joke for you
Okay.
to wrap this up for today.
All right. hit
Are
me.
you ready for it?
I hope so.
Okay. What does a robot do after a one-night stand?
I have a guess.
What is it?
Bust a nut?
Nope.
Oh.
He nuts and then bolts.
Oh my gosh. That was so close. So close. Wow. Nuts and bolts.
Okay. And I have one more.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So, because our beer name is in it, I figured it'd be hilarious.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. Who is Cogsworth's best friend?
Who's Cogsworth's best friend? Who?
His candlestick. No?
Is that the clock from Beauty and the Beast? Cogsworth?
John.
What?
Just give me an applaud on the machine and we'll call it a day.
Who's Cogsworth's best friend?
I don't know. I just saw it and
Candlestick?
it just said Cogsworth. I'm assuming that's what it is.
Are you laughing?
I mean,
Like,
I thought
did
it
you
was
get it?
funny. I didn't get it, but I
Oh,
just
jeez, come
I
on,
didn't
man.
even get it, but I mean, I figured you would.
You figured I would. Why? Because it was Cogsworth?
Huh? Yeah, I just thought you. I mean, I thought you would know.
Oh, yeah, I don't.
I'm
know.
asking.
I've never seen
I'm
Beauty and the Beast.
asking the non-movie expert to answer a movie expert question.
Yeah, perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. No, that's funny. I'm sure a lot of people laughed at that.
John, what does a hot dog use for protection?
Why are these all sexual? What is a hot dog used for protection?
Yeah,
What?
condiments.
Oh, fuck.
I love it.
You're a moron.
Yeah, but it's funny.
That's yes. All right, good deal.
I thought it was a little bit. I mean, I think that's just as funny as Mickey Mouse earlier. So.
No, your joke was funnier than Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse, I guess you had to be here for it.
Yeah, because I don't know what you were thinking of, but
Yeah, I don't know. MIC. See you later. KEY. Why? Because we love you. MOUSE.
all right.
And
now
on
that's
that
stuck in
note-
my head, thanks.
That's right. Yep. All right, guys. See you later. Cheers, y'all. Thank you for listening to the Rock-N-Brews podcast. Come visit us at Union Station Brewing Company, 106 Southwest Broad Street, Jessup, Georgia.
Union Station Brewing Company. Craft beer just got better.